If you are past the age of 50 and breath still fills your lungs, your journey is not yet over. In truth, what I am about to share may be why the next 10 years become the most meaningful chapter of your existence. Many who have traveled as long as you have already settled into rest, but your presence here, means a question is still alive within you. Allow me to offer a thought, and I invite you to answer it from a place of quiet honesty. Have you been shaping your life based on what you believed was merely possible, instead of what you are truly capable of? Let us know in the comments where this message finds you, and if you are ready to begin a profound shift in your path and perception today. Acknowledge this moment by connecting with our work. This very moment could be the gentle turning point for which you have been waiting. Let us share a deep observation. Many at your stage of life fall into a common illusion. They believe that because their 30th year is a memory, their most profound insights, their greatest strengths, and their power to cultivate something new are all behind them. But I wish to share a deeper insight. It is not the passage of time that restricts us. It is the quiet surrender to limitation. The world is filled with souls who gently cease their own unfolding the moment they cross a certain threshold. But here is what we know. We do not falter because we grow old. We falter because we cease to reach for the light. We cease to draw from the well of new knowledge. We cease to believe that our own nature can still evolve into something deep, purposeful, and transformative. Look, my purpose here is not to offer shallow comfort. It is to help awaken a recognition that already lives within you. Consider the story of a master craftsman from a small village. After 40 years of shaping wood, a quiet life of simple focus, he laid down his tools and felt a sense of being unseen, unneeded. Until one day, he began to simply share his understanding of the grain of wood with the younger people of his village. His words resonated with a surprising power. Do you know why? Because true, embodied wisdom is a rare spring, and when elders like you begin to share from it, the entire landscape changes. That craftsman now guides an entire community, finding more purpose in mentorship than he ever did in his craft. So, let me ask you, what truth do you hold that the next generation is searching for? Because in the answer to that question, you will find your own path illuminated. And this does not require a grand performance or a powerful voice. It requires only clarity. Clarity that your lived experience holds immense value. Clarity that a steady hand of wisdom often surpasses the force of raw energy. Clarity that you are not here to recede. You are here to bloom anew. Is it not a fascinating aspect of life? When guiding a ship through a treacherous storm, we do not seek the strongest sailor, but the calmest navigator. Why? Because serene wisdom can see a path forward where youthful energy only sees the chaos of the waves. And is your life, my friend, not also a mission of great consequence? This simple truth makes you qualified. So, here is the first shift in perspective I invite you to hold today. You are not late. You are not behind. You are perhaps just arriving at your true starting point. But there is a natural law to consider. The river of time flows in only one direction. Each day you choose to stand still on the riverbank, you strengthen the illusion that the journey is over. And I wish to challenge this illusion. Think about this. What if the next 3 years of your life became the most profound, most insightful, and most purpose-driven years you have ever experienced? Not because you pushed harder, but because you finally moved with greater awareness. Not because you chased the memory of youth, but because you embraced the fullness of your wisdom. So, let us be practical. There are 3 currents every person must tend to in order to remain vital. 1. A flowing mind. Continue to learn. If you are not nourishing your mind, it grows stagnant. 2. Connected roots. Engage with people who are on an earlier part of the path. Guide them. Learn from them. Create a circle of shared growth. 3. An inner compass. Be still. Reconnect with the source of your own life. This journey is not merely about profession or wealth. It is about discovering a deeper meaning. Let me pause here. When was the last time you asked your innermost self what still wishes to flow through your life? Not what you have lost, not what is in the past, but what is still possible. You still have breath, you still have time. That means purpose is still present, but you must make a choice. Will you finish your journey with strength, or will you allow your light to quietly fade? I am going to show you the single greatest illusion most elders face, and why seeing through it places you a decade ahead of those who do not. Remain with me. The greatest threat to a life in its later seasons is not the decline of the body or material lack. It is becoming invisible. I want you to consider that for a moment. The moment society no longer sees you as a source of contribution, you can begin to disappear. Not in body, but in mind, in heart, and in spirit. You become a person the world defines by what they ooze to be, rather than who they are, still becoming. And the greatest mistake I see is when elders begin to believe this story. They withdraw, they cease to offer their gifts, they stop imagining a new horizon. They begin to say things like, well, that is for a younger traveler. But I am here to hold a mirror to that idea. The notion that your prime is in your past is an illusion, and it is costing people their future. I want to be very direct with you here. If you are over 60 and you are still focused on what the world has not given you, you are already walking a difficult path. But if you are over 60 and asking, what can I offer? What can I nurture? How can I guide? Then you are already ahead of 90% of people your age. Let me share something you may already sense. It is a common feeling for many elders to feel their voice is not heard in the world today. But here is the interesting thing. When an elder actively contributes to their community, to conversations, or even to a simple project, that feeling of being unheard dissolves. Relevance is not bestowed. Relevance is embodied. Think about the last time you mentored someone, or volunteered your wisdom, or created something new from a single thought. What if the reason you feel stuck is not because the world forgot you, but because you stopped gently reminding it of your light? And yes, I understand it is not always simple. The world moves quickly. Technology flows, trends shift, but your ability to navigate these currents has not gone. It is only dormant. I want to invite you to start one small thing this week. Connect with one younger person you know and ask about their journey. Just listen. Do not teach. Write down one idea that has lived inside you but has never seen the light of day. Read one chapter of a book on a subject that is new to you. Why? Because small acts of engagement create vast waves of purpose. Let me share a simple story. A woman of 72 in a small town joined a local painting club last year. She had no experience with it, but she said, I just wanted to see something new. 1 year later, her painting of a simple mountain was featured in a local gallery. She told me, I didn't even know how to hold the brush properly, but now people ask me for guidance. I feel the current of life again. Here is what I want you to hear. It's not too late to feel that current again. It's not too late to be seen in your own light again, but you must challenge the shadow that says your best years are behind you. What are you still curious about? What do you still want to understand? What have you always wanted to try, but told yourself you could not? Let it surface. Because I am going to give you the exact framework to reconnect with your identity, your energy, and your direction, even if you feel it's too late. And you'll be moved by how quickly your life begins to shift. So stay with me. Let me tell you something that should bring a quiet warmth to your heart. Reinvention is not a gift for the young. It is a gift for the willing. Some of the most profound transformations in history happened in leaves that had passed 60 years. And I believe, truly believe, you still have a chapter in your story that hasn't been written yet. But the question is, are you willing to become someone new? Most people over 60 don't struggle because they lack ability. They struggle because they are holding on to an outdated idea of themselves. Let me explain what I mean. They say, I'm a retired nurse. I used to manage a project. I was once known in my community. But you know what those sentences all have in common? They are anchored in the past. What if I told you the words you use to describe yourself are shaping your future far more than your circumstances are. If you keep telling yourself you're finished, unseen, or unimportant, how do you expect your path to move forward? The first step you must take to transform yourself is this one. Rewrite your identity in the present. Not, I used to be a guide. Say, I am a guide. I help others grow through what I have learned. Not, I was once a leader. Say, I lead with my wisdom. Even now, I show up. I offer a steady hand. Your own awareness listens to the words you speak. If you speak as if you are finished, it will believe you. But if you speak as if you are still unfolding, something incredible starts to shift within your mind. Here is the second step. 2. Redesign your energy. And I am not talking about demanding physical feats. I am talking about how you spend and replenish your inner energy. Ask yourself this today. What am I giving my life force to that drains me? Hours of distraction, endless worry, isolation. Then ask, what small thing could I do that would nourish me instead? A phone call to a loved one, a quiet walk in nature, learning something new, writing in a journal, a moment of silent prayer. Energy is not just of the body. It is of the heart, the mind, and the spirit. And the truth is, most people are not tired because of their bodies. They are tired because of the weight their soul has been carrying for too long. Set down the weight, release the guilt, give yourself permission to change. Now, here is the third step. 3. Reclaim your direction. What are you waking up for? Not in a philosophical sense, but in a practical, tangible way. You see, one reason many elders feel adrift is because their days have no clear intention. They wake up without a why. And without a why, even a good day can feel empty. So, I want you to start using what I call the threefold path. Every night before sleep, ask yourself 1. What wisdom did I learn today? 2. Who did I help today? 3. What will I nurture tomorrow? That last question, what will I nurture tomorrow, is the one that rekindles the inner light. It tells your mind and your spirit that tomorrow still has purpose. And if tomorrow has purpose, you have purpose. Let me share a short story. A man from a mountain village was 75. He had lost his wife and felt he had nothing left to give. One day, his grandchild asked him to teach her how to carve a simple wooden bird. That moment sparked something. He started carving more, just to share with his family. Then his son shared a picture of one online. A year later, this man's simple carvings were sought by people all over the world. But more than that, he had a direction again. He had a why. He told me, it's not about the fame. It's that I wake up and know someone somewhere is finding peace through my work. That's what makes me feel alive again. So, here is my question to you right now. What could you wake up and nurture if you truly believed your wisdom still had power? Let that question stay with you tonight. You see, your reinvention doesn't start with a complex plan or a grand gesture. It starts with one belief that you are still becoming. The universe is not finished writing your story. And if it's not done, then you're not done. If you have been listening up to this point, then I want to acknowledge something profound. You have already shown that you are not like most. You are still listening. You are still reaching. And you are still open to growth. That places you among a very hopeful group of people already. But in the final part of this reflection, I am going to share exactly what that one thing is that will put you on a path that almost every other elder in the world never finds. The awareness, the perspective, the shift that most never figure out. But you will, because you stayed, because you're ready, and because your next chapter is about to begin. Let's not waste a second, because this is what you've been waiting for. From the beginning of this time together, I made you a promise that you would walk away with the one perspective that could set you on a path few people your age ever find, and I will give it to you now. But first, let me ask you something personal. Do you know why so many people grow old and still feel unfulfilled? It is not because they didn't work hard enough. It is because they were never taught what truly matters in the second half of life. They spent decades pursuing external things, money, status, comfort, but no one ever told them the real secret. The people who rise above the rest are the ones who keep creating, contributing, and becoming when everyone else starts retreating. The perspective that sets you on this path is this: I am not retiring from life. I am repurposing it for a deeper meaning. Let that settle in your heart. You're not retiring, you're repurposing. You're not fading, you're recalibrating. You're not stepping back, you're stepping into a new kind of power. Every person who reaches the highest level of their age group in well-being, contribution, and relationships has this in common: they never stop living with purpose, and not vague purpose, real purpose, daily purpose. Purpose that says, I still have something to teach, I still have people to serve, I still have room to grow, I still have breath, so I still have meaning. And here is the thing: no one gives you that purpose. You claim it, you build it, you live it. Let me show you how. There are 3 simple questions I want you to start asking yourself every morning when you wake up. 1. What does the source of life want to do through me today? Not what happened yesterday, not what went wrong, but today. What is the one act of service, kindness, growth, or wisdom you can give back to the world? 2. What is one thing I can start or refine? This could be writing, calling someone, clearing a space, building something, sharing your story, learning a skill. You are not stuck. You just need a spark. 3. Who can I encourage today? Because here is the deeper truth. Your life gets richer the moment you make someone else's better. There is healing in that. There is power in that. There is freedom in that. If you apply just those 3 questions for 30 days, your entire mindset will shift. Your days will stop blending together. You will feel anticipation again, a sense of direction again. And listen closely. This does not mean you will not feel fear or fatigue or regret. You will. But what separates the wise from the rest is not a lack of fear. It's the refusal to be led by it. You take that fear and you turn it into trust. You take that regret and you turn it into wisdom. You take that pain and you let it drive your purpose. You know what elders in the highest state of being don't do? They don't waste time blaming the past. They don't compare themselves to the young. They don't sit around waiting for permission. Instead, they wake up with this quiet fire in their heart that says, if I am still here, there is still something here for me to do. Let me be bold with you. The world needs you. It does not need you to be 25 again. It needs you as you are, with all the scars, the stories, the setbacks, and the soul. The world needs your wisdom, your courage, your ability to stand tall in a storm. Because younger people are watching. They do not need perfect heroes. They need living examples. You are the proof that life doesn't end after 60. It begins again with purpose. So here's what I want you to do today. Right after this video ends, write 1 sentence that describes who you are becoming. Not who you were, who you are becoming. Leave that sentence in the comments. I want to read it. Let the world read it. Let it be your declaration. Because when you write that sentence, you are doing something that most people never do. You are choosing to keep becoming when everyone else has stopped. You want to walk with the wisest. Stop thinking like the rest. Start seeing this moment not as the end, but as the launch of your second life. And if you believe in a higher power, then offer this reflection tonight. Source of all life, I'm still here. Show me what to do with what I still have. Make the rest of my life the best of my life. This is not the end of your story. It's the rebirth of your legacy. The question is, will you write it? Because the pen is already in your hand. Check our library for more reflections like this.